Sides Now, featuring the unconventional duo, Dr. Shirley and medium Kelly White. Two perspectives, one world. This is Both Sides Now.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Both Sides Now. I'm Dr. Shirley.
And I am medium Kelly White.
And, of course, John, our wonderful everything guy.
Yes.
Hi, ladies.
Yes,
Happy to be back.
I used to say producer, now I just say everything.
I know.
Aw,
I know.
you're
He's
so
so much
sweet.
beyond
Yes.
a producer.
Yeah.
So, how's everyone doing?
Well, feeling the effects of what's going on astrologically, I would
Oh,
say. I would
boy.
say a lot of emotions out there. And I
Yeah.
think today's topic is timely for so many reasons.
Absolutely. Well, tell us what's been going
Well,
on.
first, before we start, I have to do a shout out.
Oh,
I
okay.
have two shout outs. I want to say, hi, Lee in Chicago. Bend me, shape me. Hi, Lee. Remember that song? Lee.
Do really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yay.
Wonderful.
And Sue in Florida. A shout out to you, honey. I love you.
Hi, Sue. I know Sue.
Right. And Lynn, we know you're listening. Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn and Petra in Germany.
Yep.
Yeah, we have a lot of
And
wonderful
Julie
people.
from upstate New York.
Hi,
Aw,
Julie.
Hi, Julie.
And Susie Everett is watching as
Yay.
well.
Hi,
This
Susie.
is so fun. Well, it's a particularly interesting time with this topic, too.
It is. Well, when you say emotions, let me just add that
Okay.
I went to Vegas last weekend and saw Barry Manilow,
Yes, you did.
and that was so emotional.
Did you
So-
cry a lot?
I did, and although I had brought tissues, the lady behind me hands me tissues, the lady next to me hands me tissues,
my
and
God.
all of a sudden, they must have gone to SE class or whatever, because all of a sudden I feel hands on my shoulders. It was so sweet, and I just couldn't stop.
And this is Barry Manilow.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's not dead. He's alive.
Who does not know?
It's not like you were
bite
at a
your tongue.
funeral.
Who does not know Barry Manilow?
Oh, my God. Such a fan of
He's such a dreamy, dreamy human being.
Okay.
Anyways, so let's continue with emotions,
There you
because I
go.
just might start crying now again,
Oh my
remembering
God.
it.
Well, and then last night it was really sweet. My little brother Theo Katzman came
Oh,
over,
he's so
and he
sweet.
he gave us a little bit of a concert. So for you Theo fans out there, it was extraordinary.
He is amazing.
He's a love. He's so sweet, and he's brilliant. He's just wonderful,
brilliant,
an
yeah.
incredible musician.
He's not from here.
He's not
like
from here,
outwardly.
right.
There's
But his-
something about him that's just so.
Oh my God! But when he was doing his new song, which is not out yet, but I saw you. You were tearing up.
I was.
I was too. Yeah.
It just hits. Music is just one of those things. Well, the processing parts of the brain for music are right next to the amygdala, and so right next to the limbic system. So that's why music can shift, our moods instantly, and music just goes right into my heart and my soul
truly
like
does.
nothing else.
It truly
and that
does.
song, I can't wait until it gets recorded. We can't say anything about it, but it is beautiful.
unbelievable.
I mean, beyond beautiful.
Yeah.
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 And crosses times, I felt like I was hearing it from like 1950s or.
I know.
Oh,
I know. It's something else.
we might see him playing it on the Oscars right next to Lady Gaga.
Yeah, I wouldn't
What
be
I'm
surprised.
thinking,
I would be, and they're playing at Madison Square Garden in September.
I know.
So
that's huge.
Wolfpack is the
Huge.
band that
Yeah.
he's in. But,
Yeah.
it's huge. Madison Square Garden. So go, Theo. We're so happy for
We're
you.
so happy for you.
And yes, he's actually my brother. You're going to look at him and go, how's that possible? Oh, it just is, folks.
It's
I don't
true.
know how to explain it, except that my dad remarried, and that's how it happened. The normal way it works
Brother
in L.A.
from another mother.
Literally.
is exactly it, right?
Totally. It's the best, though. So let's talk about astrology right now.
Yeah.
Let's do a little update of what's going on
Yeah.
right now. So last week we talked about, which was really important, we talked about Chiron, the wounded healer, in Aries, and how for the next 6 or 7 years, we're going to be feeling the effects of taking care of ourselves. Aries means I hate to use the term a narcissistic thing, but this time it really means taking care of yourself.
Yeah, but that's the problem that I get really angry with is people confuse self-compassion, taking care of yourself, with being narcissistic or selfish. There's nothing selfish about taking care of yourself.
Right.
That doesn't mean you can't take care of others. But
this
it's
is
important to also include
Right.
yourself in that.
And in this particular time, it really is about taking care of yourself, because let me see, March 5th, everybody, Mercury goes retrograde. Okay, so let me talk about what it's in and what's going to happen. But before I even go there, the shadow effect started actually on February 19th. Okay, so that's the feelings of it. For instance, you had a car blowout yesterday on your
Yes.
tire, right? Those are the kind of things. Well, we'll talk about this. But it goes in retrograde. Mercury is in Pisces this time. So it's going to be all about emotions until March 28th. And in actuality, the period after that is through April 16th. Ironically, tax day on the 15th. So I would say get your taxes done as early as you can, really, to postpone any problems so you don't have any problems. But all three retrogrades, so Mercury retrograde means the planet, it doesn't really go backwards. It just slows down. But it brings in a lot of things that are that happen during a Mercury retrograde. What were we talking about, John? Like old people will come back
Sure.
into your life.
Right. Yes, anything with the word "re" in front of it. So like revisit, review, recenter.
Recenter
is another one.
Right.
It's remedy.
Remedy, yeah. It will bring up issues in this particular time because it's in Pisces, which is a water sign. In July, it'll be in Cancer, a water sign. And then in November, it'll be in Scorpio, also a water sign. So you can imagine this year is about emotions. Okay, so we're gonna talk about toxic people. Ironically, what will happen during this time is old people will revisit you. You will get those calls like, I haven't talked to that person in like a really long time. So stay out of trouble. Meaning, you don't have to connect with everybody just because they show up again. If it's not a good one, pay attention. You don't have to do it.
I think those are the times that I like to reframe it and say it gives you the opportunity to, X, Y, Z. So to set a boundary or an opportunity to choose not to answer that phone call if you don't want to.
Absolutely.
To practice new behavior that maybe you're not that comfortable with.
And just remember also with Mercury retrograde, it's not really a time where you buy a new car. If you cannot, don't do it. It's not really a time to sign a contract. It's not really a time to move. If you can help it,
When does it start?
I know, sorry. It's actually your birthday is going to be with Mercury in retrograde.
Lovely.
Yeah, which will bring old opportunities back. So there's a positive side. It's great for writers. It brings back old opportunities, but it does bring back people in your life. And because we're doing a show on toxic people today, there is an opportunity that some toxic ones might slip in there. So I guess we should probably get into the topic of toxic people.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it is, huge. That word kind of gets tossed around just like narcissism gets tossed around.
And borderline gets tossed around.
Not so much, unfortunately, because a lot of people need to know about borderline, I think. People think, am I on the border of something, or are they on the border? And no, it's a very real personality disorder like narcissism is. But that word somehow got into mainstream.
Yes.
And we use it a lot and know about it. But toxic people, the word toxic is very real. They are toxic. It feels, how would you say that it feels? It zaps your energy.
It takes your energy.
Sure.
It feels like you're being attacked by poison. Like, right?
Yeah.
It feels to me like I was bit by like a scorpion or something.
Yeah.
It just takes your energy.
It feels really uncomfortable.
Violating.
Right. It is. It's very violating.
Yeah.
Yeah. In a subtle way, which the two words seem like they would be, they wouldn't go together.
Well, it just starts to happen. And you're like, why do I feel so bad? What is this person doing that makes me feel so bad?
Yeah. Many times you don't feel it until after you've had the interaction with them.
Right.
But you feel very uncomfortable. And there's always this tendency to blame yourself. Like, could I have done something different, or did I
do something?
Right. Did I do something? Did I read that well?
My favorite line about this is toxic people defy logic. I love that.
Well, that's exactly what it is. It goes against what our social norms are, which are kind of unwritten. But, we all work in a society a certain way. And when someone violates that, it kind of puts you off kilter.
Well, especially if you are a non-toxic person.
Yeah.
If you're a non-toxic person, let's describe what a toxic person is. Exactly. What is that?
That means we're getting a call.
Should we take the call?
Yeah.
Okay. We can take a call.
All right.
That's a funny one.
All right.
Are we? Hi there.
Hi there.
And if you're listening, please lower your volume on your listening device and just talk through the telephone, please. You're live on the air with us. Hi, can we have your name, please, and where you're calling from?
Thousand Oaks, California.
Hi.
Well, hi there. What's your name?
Susie,
Well, hi, Susie. What's your birth date?
April 2nd,
Oh.
1960.
Oh. Well, you would be very creative then. But you would have understood the term toxic people very well. you would have had a more, I would assume, a little more challenge in this lifetime. A lot more challenge, actually.
I'm almost 60, and it seems like 60 years of it.
Yeah, I can imagine that it
Wow.
would feel that way. Do you have a particular question we can help you with, or do you want to talk about a toxic person in your life, and maybe Shirley and I can help you with that?
I want to know when the 60 years of toxic people is going to
Okay.
end,
All
and I
right.
can have more good people.
Okay, so this is a really good question, actually. So in your lifetime, you actually chose a more difficult life path. Some people do, some people don't. You actually chose a very deeply rooted karmic path. What does that
yeah.
mean? I mean, deeply rooted. So you are a very deep person. You came in, so we come in knowing what we're going to work on, and you really wanted to work on things such as, I'm going to say, boundaries, setting up boundaries, taking
yeah.
care of yourself. Boundaries are critical for everybody. Boundaries are critical. So in this period that we have coming up for this year, this is a year that you will work on what's good for you, what's not good for you, and then actually implementing that, Susie. Implementing it, meaning I can't do this anymore. And even if you have to walk away, that's
No.
okay.
Yeah.
Done it many times.
I'm good
Yeah.
for you. I bet. Well, you're a strong soul, and you're a survivor. You're a strong soul. You know, you had a lot of, I want to say, mother and father on the other side, mother and father on that side with you. Yeah, it comes in from a long line of, I want to say, kind of sufferers. But you don't have to suffer. In fact, I know you don't suffer fools. I hope you're doing something creative, and in fact, at this year as we go along, everybody needs to do something creative. Because we're going to have so much toxic stuff going on with emotions and all of this.
When I think also putting what you started saying, Susie, and putting the intention of wanting different people in your life, more positive people, or whatever word that describes what you're wanting more of, to really put it out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and actually, you know, I mean, there are a lot of great ways to do this too. I mean, you can make the first person, everybody can do this out there. First person that you think of, whoever's toxic, write their name, what they're toxic about. What is it about them? What have they done? And then start to pay attention. Limit your time with them, right, Shirley? If you have to walk away, even if it's family. And particularly,
I've cut them all out of my life.
There you go. Well, then you got to start living then.
Yeah.
You literally, there's a great book out there that's called, and I always refer to this, it's called Living with Joy, because even though you've had a lot of loss in your life, and even though you've had, depressed times, and even though you've had hardships, because, by the way, everybody does, you can still have joy in your life.
And that doesn't mean that you're just this happy person walking
No.
around, because that's impossible.
Right.
But, I can't say it. Be
Although
happy.
I'm pretty happy.
Be happy. But notice the moments of happiness, or even begin to notice the moments where there's less toxicity or less sadness, and notice what that feels like. And then notice the moments of happiness. And sometimes it's just as you're driving, you notice a hummingbird fly by.
Right.
That moment.
Right.
And if you really focus on those moments and just notice them, it doesn't mean you have to prolong it, but notice that and take it into your body. Wow, what did my body just feel like with that moment of joy, or moment of the smile on my face? When I smile, where is that smile in my body? So you start to anchor it in your body, and you start to shift what it seems like in your case, what you're used to, which is, maybe dealing with a lot of difficult stuff.
And I always like to say this: live to fight another day. I mean it. Just keep going. You're strong, and you
I
come
hear
in,
you,
Susie,
Cal.
as strong. I mean, we're all going to
Oh, I
be
am.
attacked.
Yeah.
It's just the way of the universe.
Well, as we're talking about toxic people, it can be really subtle. It can, they can manipulate. They can keep you guessing at what version you're going to get of them. They won't own their feelings. They will make you prove
for
yourself
sure.
to them. They never apologize. They
Nope.
use non-toxic words with a toxic tone. That's that very
Or
kind
tone
of
silent.
subtle, right?
And they're
Yeah.
negative. Oh, that negativity just drives
The
me
silent
insane.
treatment. They'll,
yeah.
they'll confuse you so they
Silent
keep you off
treatment's the worst.
balance.
That's a
That's
big
the
one.
word. So it's very passive aggressive.
Yeah.
They exaggerate. They're judgmental. They can be always very negative. And all of a sudden, that negativity, even if it's someone just like, I call them Debbie Downers.
Yeah.
Even if it's someone just about the day, it's so cold today, or so.
So cold.
It really
Yeah.
is always. It just brings you down if you're in that energy space.
I'll tell you what I do
Yeah.
now. Honest to God, this is what I do. When I've had enough, I actually say it now. I actually do. I was so proud of myself over the weekend. I was with somebody who was very toxic, and I just said, all right, I've had enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I couldn't believe where it came from.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't care.
And it kind of
That
shocks
was
them out of it
It
for a
totally
moment.
did.
Yeah.
But honestly, the truth was, I didn't care anymore.
Drew the boundary.
It was,
I was just going to say that. I don't care anymore.
I
Yeah.
don't
People
care
think.
anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
whatever. And you know what? The greatest thing about being 60, Susie, because I'm 61, the greatest thing is you don't give a rat's ass anymore. And that is important. I wish I did that when I was 30. You know, all you 30-year-olds out there, don't give a rat's ass.
but
they're smarter than we were when we were
It'll
60
happen
or
because
30.
that's the best thing about being
With
52
age.
too.
Is it the best?
I don't care.
You don't care.
I don't care. That's the one great thing that comes with age.
Very true.
You
there's
just
some
don't
other
give
great
a
things
shit.
too.
Exactly.
Actually, you'll
one
see in
of
so
the
many. Right.
I guess.
But I think what I love about being a little older now is that I've had all the experiences. Really. Okay, so I can actually tell you going forward, you're going to be just fine. You're going to pull out of it. It's going to hurt. It's going to be whatever. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there is wisdom in this.
Yeah, there is. And
Don't
know-
go down that road.
and
Go this way.
know that it's not, that it's their stuff. And you can try
Right.
to work with them initially, and if they shift with you, wonderful. And if they don't, then you have to kind of give it back to them. It's their stuff.
Right. And well, let me add to that.
So move on.
You,
Yeah.
you don't want to be pulled into their crisis.
No,
Because, by the way, these toxic people, will always have a crisis.
Yeah.
It's just, they need you. You're the only one that can fix it. They need you
Yeah.
until they suck the light
Yeah,
out
I'm
of you.
doing so well. I can fix them.
Yeah, because you're doing
No,
well. You can
I
fix
can't.
it. Nope.
Exactly. Well,
No.
and they pull you into it because a lot of
Right.
people have this kind of want to. Some people have a need to help, but other people really want to help. If you're nice, you want to help, and so at
You
some
Virgos out
point-
there, be careful. You're the ones like
Yeah.
me that'll get pulled in.
At some point, you have to realize that it's not your fight to fight. You can be
Right.
supportive, and so many times when I work with like parentified kids, with kids who have been made to be the parent sooner than they ever should have. And so then I say neutral responses. That's when we get to what the tools are. Neutral.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think you should do? Well, what do you think your best option is? So you always push it back on them.
Right.
Don't give them the solution.
I agree.
Right.
Push it back on them. Yeah.
I think, all right, Susie, thanks for calling.
Yeah,
I so
thank
appreciate it. And you know what? We should talk about the
Thank
tools
you.
now.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Susie.
Thanks, Susie. It sounds like you're doing.
Thank you.
It sounds like you're doing everything
Yeah.
that you need to right now. I think, using in Kelly's words, I would just start putting the intention out of wanting different people in your life, positive people, people that add to your life.
And that's going to be one of the tools.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
will.
All right. Thanks, Susie.
Bye, Susie.
Thank you. Bye.
But
So one of the best ways that I can tell when I'm with someone toxic is how I feel.
tell me about that.
Well, when you're dealing with someone, how you feel either while you're with them or after they leave.
Oh,
if you're
so
drained,
true. So true.
or
Yeah.
if I feel like off kilter, if I'm drained, usually it's my energy that gets drained, then I'll kind of know. And so then I'll be prepared for next time. Because one of
Yeah.
the biggest tools is to expect them to behave in the way that you've always known them to behave.
Right.
It's when we have this expectation that they're going to be different.
That they're going to be better this time.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
That we have this hope that then gets crushed.
Right. And it's funny because these people can be better for a few minutes. But what happens to me, Shirley, is my heart starts to race. I start to get a little shaky. Honestly, I mean, the
Yeah.
physicalness part of it.
Oh, pay
and then
attention
my
to your
mind goes,
physical.
how do I get out of this now?
No.
Okay, I've got to get out now. And I start looking for a way. But because I'm pretty aware of who's toxic and who's not in my life,
Yeah.
I start figuring out an exit plan right away. And in family members, exit plans are everything, right? Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Exit plans?
Absolutely. You have to, because many times you feel guilty because it's a family
Let's talk
member.
about guilt.
Yeah.
Let's talk about guilt.
'Cause it's a family member.
Useless emotion, guilt. Let me talk
Well,
about
it's
why
evolutionary. I mean,
Okay,
it's,
tell us
it's
about that.
useless when it's used to make yourself feel bad about something that you shouldn't feel bad about. The emotion came in evolutionary times because we have to live in groups. So if you
Okay.
steal from someone, you should feel guilty, so you don't steal. So it prevents
Okay.
that, so we can live in cooperative groups and not get killed by the tiger if we're
Right.
alone in the jungle.
That's true.
However, it's been so misused
Yeah.
by many religions, that we then feel guilty for doing something that we shouldn't feel guilty about, like getting away from a toxic person or taking a mental health day, or
and-
not answering the phone because I don't feel like dealing with the toxic person right now.
And what makes it tough is, let's say the toxic person is your mother.
Exactly.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
So you would have to limit it. But the feeling guilty about that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Because it's almost, it's my mother. And yet, how's my mother so toxic?
Right.
It's a tough one to pull out of, but you start practicing every day that this person, I'm going to talk about this spiritually, that toxic person is in your life for a reason. And it's really to teach you boundaries. It's to teach you self-love. It's about what is good for me. And this year, with the Mercury in retrograde 3 times in all emotion, in water, which is all emotion, and with this Chiron in Aries teaching us about emotions, you're going to have a lot of opportunities this year to deal with these toxic people that'll come in. So again, spiritually, they come into your life to teach you. They will be your greatest teacher. And the reward will be, wow, I learned boundaries in this lifetime. I'm sorry, it feels awful when you pull away from somebody. It feels terrible. It's the worst feeling of all, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you want that person to be normal. And you know what, folks? It will not be. It's just, I don't know why in this lifetime they're not going to be normal.
If it's ingrained in the personality, which in our field we call them personality disorders, then they're not going to change. It's part of the personality. And I think, along with what you were saying, which was so beautiful, is it's to learn that you matter.
Yes.
You know, you matter.
You
and
as a soul come in for your own, absolutely your own gifts and your own life and your own ability to take care of yourself. That's important. You matter.
Yeah. So if you have to set a boundary with someone, even if it's your own mother or your father or a relative or something, then know that you're doing it in a way to also tell to yourself that you matter. And that's so important.
Right.
Yeah.
And speaking of mattering, in terms of having a boundary that's set so that you protect your own energy, can we go into a little bit about cord cutting in terms of how we have these vampires, right, that are
They're
toxic
like
people?
Yeah, psychic
And then
vampires.
cutting the cords and then sending the energy back to them in order to...
Well, how do you go ahead and describe what you think about
Well,
that?
spiritually, I mean, you know, working with James and all, he had talked about that. Even with phone conversations you have with people, you need to cut the cord and send their energy back to them, and so that you don't take that on as a sponge, as an empath, and you know, so and they don't stay connected to you. So you're spiritually asking the angels to step in and help you cut these cords.
Cut these cords.
While you're talking to them.
Yeah.
There's also what
That's
I do
a great way to.
sometimes,
That's a great way to start.
Because Petra was asking earlier, is there a method to protect from this toxic people if you cannot walk away from them?
Well, I'll tell you what. A couple of things. Number one is cutting those cords is really important. So you would sit in a meditation, and then you would visualize. And I also bring in Archangel Michael for this. And you bring in the angels, and you start cutting these cords wherever they are around you of that toxic person that has been feeding off you. That is definitely a spiritual move on that one. That's certainly a good one to do. And another way is to put what I do is like a dome of plexiglass, if you will, an egg-shaped dome of plexiglass. So when you have to be around these people, that you put this heavy-duty thing that they cannot penetrate.
that you imagine.
You
around
imagine
you.
this. You imagine this heavy, thick plexiglass all around you. So you're around them. Okay, they're negatives. They're going to throw darts at you. They're going to do whatever to try to attach, and it's going to bounce right off and back at them.
Yeah, you say,
have to
I'm rubber,
practice it.
you're glue. Whatever you say to me bounces off of me and sticks to you.
I'm telling you, tips right on.
I love that.
Right?
That's hilarious.
It's the old way. Be kind, be nice, and there you go.
And we're getting more calls, and I'm loving all the calls coming in and the comments coming in. I'm on Instagram and Facebook, so I'm multitasking right now.
That's
So
lovely. Thank you.
busy
Well, I
guy.
wanted to say just one thing. I also use loving kindness meditation, where I'll say, you know, let me be safe. Let me be. Let me be. What is it? Let me be safe. Let me be healthy. Let me be. There's a third one that I always forget about. But before I get on the phone, I'll say it to them too, and I'll imagine them, the toxic person. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be loved. And so then that kind of helps shifts a little bit of the energy.
Yeah, it could.
And what I do is, you know, less is more. Less is more. Diffuse the situation. If they're talking and they're bitching and they're negative, and can you believe this, and what do I do about that? Really?
was the other one love, Shirley?
Yeah. May I be loved. May I be healthy. May I be happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought one
May I
was
be
safe.
safe.
It's two, yeah.
Safe.
And then
Oh my God.
James,
James
says, healthy am I.
Healthy am I.
Holy
holy
am
am
I.
I.
Yeah.
And then there's another.
But when you
healthy,
do what I
holy.
think we talked about in the last session, when you actually visualize the person that drives you crazy and send them that, there's something that shifts. I mean, not permanently, of course, but it can.
Yeah.
But I use neutral words. You know, don't jump into the soup with them.
No.
Use neutral words. That must be
been
tough.
awful. Yeah.
And one former guest is watching right now, Carolyn from Intuitive Solutions. And
Hi, Carolyn.
Hi.
She's sweet. She
She's
was
here
on
on
our show.
Instagram.
Yeah.
She's on the Halloween episodes that we did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
that was fun.
wonderful.
All right.
She's a great intuitive.
So we do have this calls coming in.
Okay,
It's from
let's
area
take
code
some calls.
216. So I just want to remind the folks who are calling in to please lower your listening device and just speak through your telephone so that we don't hear any feedback come through. And 216-407, you're on the air with Shirley and Kelly.
Hi there. What's your name? Caller? Nope.
Oh, let's see again.
Hello?
805, you're on the air.
Hello?
Oh, my.
That's a hoot. It sounds like I'm calling my daughter. It sounds like my baby grandson.
Hello.
Hello, what's your name?
Hi, my name's Josie.
Josie?
Where are you calling from, Josie?
I'm calling from Napomo,
Pomo, where's that?
the Central Coast.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. Would
Wow.
you mind lowering the volume on?
Well, I think it's
My
our
phone?
it's our kids.
Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was the TV or something.
No, I think it's our kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, don't lower their volume
busy
at all.
mother.
Your
Busy mother. Yeah.
Josie, what's your birth date?
6/13/85.
Oh, yeah, busy mom, for sure. For sure, a busy mom. So how can we help you today?
I was just calling. I just wanted to see what the show was about. And
Oh.
I just happened to get in.
Oh, well, good. Well, let me tell you a little bit about you for a minute. You are like a Ford truck. You come in very grounded, the strong ability. You can take on a lot. I don't want you to take on as much as you need to, as much as you do, if that makes sense. You can take on a lot. People trust you. They want to be around you. They know that you'll fix the problem. Take care of yourself, okay? Because you have a long lifetime. You know, some people really do. You come in with a long life, and I would say make sure you use spirituality in your life too, especially with the kids too. Really get this life for you. As you get older, you'll find that you'll get a lot into spirituality, and yoga is really good for you. They're telling me yoga and meditation for you.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have a specific? Okay. Is there a specific thing I can answer? Do you have toxic people in your life?
Probably so.
Yeah. Who
All
doesn't?
right.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
Seems like learn to set boundaries and ask for help. You know, don't try and take everything on yourself. Ask for help. So it may be difficult to ask for help, but please do so.
Yeah. Enjoy your life. Have a good life.
Thank you.
All
You're
right. Bye,
very
honey.
welcome. Thank you for calling.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
All right. We
do have
hands full.
more.
Are there any comments you want to talk about from Facebook or Instagram?
They're saying they love this topic.
It's a great
and,
topic,
they're
folks.
asking for the number to call. So let's give that number
that's
out.
right.
So it's
What's the number?
818-570-5085. Again, 818-570-5085.
And, you know, we should talk, Shirley. Shirley and I are doing webinars next month, I think,
Yeah.
right? And one of our webinars is really going to be detailed about personality disorders.
Yeah, and what to do
So
about them, and
because-
step by step.
Right, because
Yeah.
toxic really is another word for a personality disorder.
They're
Yeah.
asking about toxic family members as well.
Golly.
Renew Your Life is asking.
My eyes can't roll further back.
Oh, my.
oh my
But
God.
can we hold on that one just real quick and get
Yeah.
this call in real quick?
Yeah.
So we have area code 310-418 on the line.
Los Angeles, in the house.
Can we have your name, please, and where you're calling from?
Hi, this is Katie, and I'm calling from LA.
Hi, Katie.
Hi, Katie. What's your birthday?
My birthday is 6/25.
6/20.
A
53.
lot of June people
A
calling
lot
today.
of June people. That's good. Oh, that's a happy thing. Oh, you come in for a lot of change in this life. A lot of change. I would think
Oh, wow.
a lot of change in your life. I mean, you come in for that. You come in to experience and to touch a lot of people, and you can go very fast and very far in this life. You come in for success too. Have both. Are you currently in a relationship?
I just ended a relationship
Yeah.
with a person who was alcoholic.
Okay.
So when I was listening to your conversations, it resonated.
Yeah, I can imagine. We should speak about that, Shirley.
I still have a hard time getting the slime off of me
Oh.
and
Whoa.
disconnecting.
Okay.
So that's what I called.
I'm glad you called. That's
Wow.
a very, I got chills when you said that. That's really an important thing because there is like that toxic slime. I love that expression.
Yeah, it
Right?
really kind of gives you a kind of metaphor for a
you can
tangible
feel
metaphor.
It.
And
you can
you're
feel
right.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, what you want to start doing now is surrounding yourself with only positive people. Only positive people. I want you to do things that go out for walks, go out in nature, really start enjoying your own self, and slowly, as fast as you can, if you get rid of that slime. And how it would be done is like spend time at the beach. You're here in LA, is that right? Yeah. Go to the beach. Go to Runyon County, whatever. Go hike. Go anywhere in nature. Listen to music. Only surround yourself with positive people. That's it. I mean, really, and then you'll start to heal from this, and it'll start to slowly come away. You'll come away from that toxic. All of us probably have been hit with this, and it's really tough. Did you feel sorry for this person? Did you feel like you really wanted to take care of this person?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, yeah. So there was a lot of me taking care of things and his life improving, and mine not so much, obviously, because the focus was on his chaos.
Oh, yeah. I heard the greatest thing the other day.
There's a lot of resentment. So what's in it for me? So,
I bet.
The difficulty I'm having is the resentment itself. So I'm a little upset about that.
Let's talk about that.
So this was a person who we had a lot in common, so I have a hard time cutting off for that, too. So, I want to cut it off, but then there's things that I miss. Yeah. So I'm having this conflict.
Well, that resentment's a real thing.
With breakups like this, you need to, even if you have to write down everything that they did that wasn't great, because what happens in breakups, we tend to remember only the good stuff. And certainly if you stayed with them for 4 years, there were good stuff. We're not, we don't stay with people if everything is bad. So when you remember the good stuff, also purposefully remind yourself of the bad stuff and write it down if you need to, so you can see it on paper. And know that you're taking care of yourself. You can't take care of two when one person is so toxic and it's just all about them. And
I hope the lesson in this is that you learn, like, I heard this line the other day, did you fall for his story? Did you fall for the story? Because people fall for the story. And, I can help him. And think about that.
It was partial. I partially fell for it, but I was also very aware of what was going on. And I thought I could deal with it.
Yeah.
I thought I could fix it.
There you go.
I could do it.
So
it was doable.
That's the piece to...
It was a mountain I didn't want to climb anymore.
Right. Well, that's the piece to be curious about. There's nothing wrong with being a kind person that wants to help and be supportive of people, but what causes you to cross, to defy yourself and continue to help someone who may not really want to be helped, even though they say they want to be helped, or to your own detriment. That's the piece that I would be curious about and maybe go to therapy for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm actually, I have your email address, Dr. Shirley, and it's top of mind to do that.
That's a good idea.
Because I know exactly what the problem is. It's just, I'm calling because the conversation resonated with me, and also because I just kind of wanted to get that spiritual side of it on the therapy side of it. I know my issues, and I know I need to work through them. So I've done some therapy in the past, so I'm aware of it, but
for you.
This really sucked me in.
Well, and that would be your greatest teacher. So you would look at it, bravo, you got out. Really, bravo. I would like to encourage everybody out there, too, that what's the first red flag you saw? And then you see the first red flag, I could deal with that. Or then there's another red flag, I can deal with that. And then what happens is you just get beat down. It's just too much.
Yeah, the boiling frog.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know that one. What's that? No.
Share it with us.
The boiling frog.
Yeah. Oh, the boiling frog?
Yeah.
Because this is actually something that has been experimented on. Frogs are cold-blooded, so they adapt to the temperature. So if you throw a frog into boiling water, they jump out. But if you put them in the cold water and start boiling it, they keep adapting to the hot water until they die.
Yeah.
They don't jump out.
God.
If you put it very slowly, it's a
wow.
psychological
I won't forget that metaphor.
Yeah.
Wow, no boiling frogs.
I was told it's a real thing. I've been told that this actually is doable. Like you can put a frog in
Yeah, you put them
in cold water and boil them to death, and they won't jump out.
Right, because you turn on the heat very slowly, so they continue to adapt until they don't realize that the water is.
And they adapt.
Is that gaslighting though?
It's different than gaslighting.
Different.
I mean,
Okay.
I think it's kind of a more.
I don't know what
tangible
gaslighting is, but.
Oh, we'll tell you because that has to do with toxic people too. You want to share that?
Well, yeah, gaslighting is you will act like that everything is fine, but they're really screwing you over here. They're really doing something really horrible,
and they're trying to make you feel like
oh no, there's nothing wrong, really. There's nothing wrong
so
here.
You start to question yourself and you start to feel crazy.
What? Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's kind of like, I guess it would be like a physical example of gaslighting. It's certainly along the same terms. But the biggest clues, part of the reason is the more you spend with this person, the more you emotionally attach. And emotions, it's not that easy to just walk away. When we're looking at it, when we're not in it, we can say, why didn't that person walk away? Right. It's the same, question that we ask when someone gets assaulted. Well, why didn't they just run? Or why didn't they just... And it's not that easy, and particularly in love relationships, when you start to, that emotional bond is so strong and so primitive. It's at the core of our attachment is to bond with people.
Well, and if we go back further, was your father alcoholic? Was your mother alcoholic?
No.
Really?
No, not at all.
That's an interesting.
I
Usually
didn't identify this as alcoholism. I went around and asked people who had been with alcoholic partners. I said, well, I don't know, is this a lot of alcohol? I mean, alcoholism? I don't know.
Alcohol could have been the byproduct, but a tall tale sign, which is really important also, is does the behavior match the words? Words can sound beautiful, but the behavior has to absolutely match. I sometimes deal with people where the behavior is beautiful, but they don't have words to go with it. And in my mind, of course, who cares about the words? If the behavior is they bring you flowers, they say they're going to be where they're going to be, they call you at the time they said they're going to call you, and it's not as simple as who gives a shit, because there's that 5 love languages, and some people really need to hear it. But the most important thing is, do they match? Do the words and the behavior match? Because if they don't, there's a huge problem.
Yeah, the most important apology is changed behavior.
Exactly. The most important apology is what you just said. That is beautiful. Ooh, make up a card.
I think we have that on our Instagram.
Do we? But so thank you for calling, and please reach out.
That because one of my later things, like the last year, I kept saying your words don't match your actions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly
all the things you're saying.
Look good.
Couldn't make sense of it anymore.
Yeah. Wow. So please reach out to me. I mean, I would love to talk to you and work together maybe and help you through this, because it is important to also take a look at what your contribution of it is. Why,
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'm only there to take care of my contributions at this point.
Yes.
I don't care what his contribution was.
Yeah.
So I'm very focused on my own contribution to how this developed.
Good. And I would suggest that, when we all look at that, we do it with curiosity. Remember, curiosity is the antidote to judgment. There's no reason to add self-hate or, be mad at yourself on top of everything else you're already dealing with. Right. Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much for calling.
Yeah. Thank you for calling.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah, we just have calls pouring in.
Oh, good.
So
it's a hot topic.
Yes, it is. Area code 706.
Where is that?
624. Yeah. Area code 706. You're on the line with Shirley and Kelly. Can we have your name,
there.
please, and where you're calling from?
Yeah, I'm Tina.
Hi, Tina. Where are you calling from?
Athens, Georgia.
Well, hi there. What's your birthday, Tina?
It's February 4th, 1977.
Oh, interesting. Well, you're a
birthday.
powerhouse. Happy birthday, powerhouse.
Oh, thank you.
And what year were you born?
1977.
So how old are you? I'm bad at math.
I'm 42, I believe.
Oh, okay, good. All right, that's perfect. Boy, you've got some great changes coming up. Powerful. I mean, really, power. You're a powerhouse. You come in, you were born a powerhouse. You were born to take care of a lot of people. It could be in the capacity of a CEO or running your own business. What do you do?
Well, actually, I'm running my husband's company right now, and I feel the struggle of I'm always in a support position, whether my career or in my marriage, and of course being a mother. And I feel I need to make a shift where even if I start something small on my own, or I feel like I need to do something where I can make more of the decisions, because it comes to
You actually have to. You came in to run your own business. I mean, you could run circles around anybody, but it is an interesting place. Did you see The Wife by any chance? It was a really good movie.
No.
Oh,
Is that a
everybody should
movie?
see it. The movie was up for Academy
yeah.
Award, and I wish Glenn Close had won. She was so great in that. But you need to see that. It's really good. It's up your alley, probably. But this is a year, okay, you're 42. So the big changes, as I always say, 43, 44, 45, the big changes start then. So you're right there with all of these planets retrograde. I'm glad that you're aware, so stay aware of what you want to do. You will make big changes this year, going into the next year and the next year and the next year. I really believe that you will have your own company. What do you do with, I hate to say this, makeup or art or artwork? No, makeup. What do you do something with that kind of a thing?
I've always been into art.
It's art.
Different
Okay.
types of artistic expressions. But I've never made a career of it. I've actually went into accounting, which is not artistic.
Right. Well, do something with art also, at least with your right brain. You are a heavyweight. Please remember I'm saying that. You came in to make big changes with your soul in this life to be able to have the ability to take care of and run things. Really, you are a CEO.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
I really needed to hear that.
Yeah, there you go. Well, just keep going because that's why you incarnated. Okay?
Okay.
Wow.
There you go.
Thank
All right.
you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Tina, for calling.
Thanks for calling.
Okay. One of the things I want to say too is that what toxic people do is they project themselves onto something, right? Don't they do that?
They
a
do.
lot of projection there.
Yeah. Well, and they want to keep you down.
Oh,
because
totally.
they need to keep you down so you can still be there for them. Because once you start to empower yourself, then
You're gonna get away.
You're not going to deal with their bullshit, basically.
Right.
And so that's an important thing to notice too. You know, are you where you want to be? Are you doing the things that you want to do? And if you're not, ask yourself why.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there another call, John?
We do. We have more calls. I'm like in 3 places. I have calls. I have Facebook. I have
he's doing
Instagram.
it.
I'm like juggling it all. So let me
my
get to the right
gosh.
mouse here. Here we go.
I suspect there are a lot of toxic people out there, right? That really need to help with this.
Okay, so call from 601-516. You're on the air.
What's that, like Mississippi?
Hi there. What's your name and where are you calling me from? Us from?
This is Naisha. Hi, Dr. Shirley.
Hi,
Hi,
Naisha.
Naisha. What a pretty name.
How are you guys doing today?
I'm good. Where are you calling from?
Dr. Shirley, it's Naisha. I'm calling from Hawthorne,
Oh!
California.
Naisha. Oh my God. Hi there. I
We
thought
didn't recognize the number 601.
No,
I thought that was like
thought-
Mississippi.
Yeah.
that sounds like, you know, I mean, I was thinking about you in my mind because of the same name, but it is you. Hi there.
Yes, hi.
I'm so glad you called.
I was listening early. I was listening earlier on, and I heard Kelly say that this year is not a good year to move. There's going to be a lot of toxic people to come in your life, and I'm not moving this year. But next year, I plan on making a really big move. I just want to know what type of effect should I look for. Like,
All right. Well, Naisha, what's
as
your
far as
birth date?
toxic-
What's your birth date, Naisha?
June 29th.
God, another June. June 29. What is this with June right now?
Our
my.
callers have been June on.
All right, so let me just say this. This actually is a good year to move. This year, people are moving. It'll be a tremendous amount of change this year, next year. A lot of moves, a lot of changes in jobs, a lot of changes in relationships, a lot of change, period, in a message. So just know that. But you came in, you can do so many different things, Naisha. You're really wildly talented. You can do all kinds of things. But if you want to move, or if you want to wait till next year, that's fine too. But it should be a very profound year for you between this year, between your birth date and and your following birth date. So June to June, it should be profoundly different for you. And I'm getting a grandmother. I don't know if you took care of your grandmother. I'm seeing an aging grandmother. Did you take care of her?
No, I didn't, but I know that there's one that's looking over me. And I had a very traumatic upbringing. And yeah, I know she's looking after me.
Okay, so she's passed. An aging grandmother is what I just want to keep reiterating that. So she took care of you, or she's watching over you.
No,
okay.
I don't know her. I know nothing about her. But from what I can recall, from me speaking to someone else, I was told that she saw out of all her grandchildren that I kind of had the really bad end of the stick. So she kind of stuck it out with me. She looked over me and just made sure I was okay throughout my life.
Yeah, that's still going on. She's still watching out for you. You know, you have a lot of good things to look forward to in this life, you know. And I would say you came in to be an adventurer. So enjoy many different things that you do in this life.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes. All right.
All right.
Thank you guys for taking my call.
Thanks, Naisha.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for calling.
Have a great one.
You too.
Thanks, you too.
I think what's going to happen is people are going to start releasing the toxic people in their life, family or otherwise. They're going to be released. And when this happens, you're going to be freed up to be able to make your own choices, to live your own life. And then it'll be interesting to deal with people from having their own freedom to take care of themselves.
Right.
Yeah,
you know, because
but you can't pour from an empty pitcher.
Exactly. It's going to be interesting.
You, John, for that. It's true. I mean, it's one of the most difficult things that we do is have to let go of, especially as a family member and someone as close as a mom or a dad. But it's important to do it, and it's important to also grieve the mother, in this case we keep using mother as an example, but the mother you never had and that you never will have, and grieve that, because that does take, you know, it's important to do that as well. And then once you let go, you know, it can feel initially lonely, but it's profoundly liberating.
It's going to feel really uncomfortable. That means you're doing it correctly, as my mother would say. But first, how to get rid of these toxic people? First, write down all the toxic people in your life. 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever they are. Write down what they do that makes it so toxic for you, right? I mean, really start acknowledging how they make you feel. And then don't justify what they do anymore. Just know that they are just this way. And they are, I swear I get asked this question every day. Are they going to change? Let's see.
Well, that's a good one right there, because Shirley wrote a book, Why Can't I Change? Right? We should talk about that book.
Okay, let's talk about her book.
Yes.
Well, that's right.
Right?
Really?
Why can't I change?
She forgot.
Because that title just
I love the
drives
title.
me crazy. I know, you've always
Love
loved
it.
the title. It's so sweet.
Everybody should get this book, Why Can't I Change?
Well, it's really more for kind of self-help, but it's about setting boundaries too with people who are around you that, in this case, as we're talking about, are toxic. There's no other kind of miracle potion or spell or anything. If that person insists on being who they are, you get to have a choice whether you want to be around them or not, regardless of what role they play in your life. Relative, mother, father, sister, brother, it doesn't matter. If it's your child, you know, it would be important to be curious about that, because I don't agree in abandoning your own kids unless, of course, they're, you know, doing drugs or something where if you help them, it's more enabling, but get professional help with that, because I'm not going to, you know, I don't want to make opinions on that, because that's a real touchy one, because you will always be the parent. And so that's a tough one. You know, that's a tough one.
Really a tough one.
Maybe we can do a show just on that.
We should.
But, you know, focus on the solutions. You know, they always come with a problem. Focus on the solutions. And know sometimes, you know, when you're dealing with a sociopath, you're just a pawn in their game of life. And so it's for them, it's about winning. How much can they get away with? You know, it stimulates the part of the brain that, you know, they don't have a lot of connections with.
Right. And here's another thing. Try not to personalize it.
Absolutely.
Really.
Absolutely.
Even if it's a mother, they can be just screwed up, totally screwed up. Even if it's a father, they could be just totally screwed up. Try not to personalize it, and know they're your greatest teachers to help you actually overcome and grow in this life, so you will only take good things instead of bad things. It forces you to take boundaries, right? Spiritually, it actually does.
I mean, the best way is to neutralize it. Don't fuel the fire, diffuse it with neutral words, and less is more.
And Kelly, would you have any spiritual tips in terms of maybe crystals or smudging or something like that in order to clear the negative energy?
I mean, I carry crystals with me. I have crystals all around my office, around my home. I mean, people who know me know I'm a crystal freak of nature. I mean, I stop me before I buy more crystals. I mean,
I have a friend who sticks them in her bra when she's going to go out, especially when she's going to be.
When she works, she does it too.
When she works, she does it too. And when she's going to be around toxic people, she just stuffs them in her bra or in her purse or whatever. Sometimes she forgets to take them out of her bra, and at night when she takes off her bra, they hit her on the feet.
That's so funny. But another thing you can do, let's say you have a visitor, and how this topic came up actually was I was with a client who I just adore and love, and you know who you are. And this person was telling me about a friend that had come to visit, and she said to me, you know, and this she was so toxic. And that went in, and I said, oh, toxic is the word. We're going to do a show on that because it's so important. But one of the things that after the person leaves your facility, wherever you are, even including my office, you open up the windows. You can smudge if you need to, that sage, you know, you can do that. I actually just open up all the windows. I take my crystals, I start blessing the room again. And I use, what is that, eucalyptus spray?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
it just brings things back alive again.
You can use that, what is that stick called?
Like a sage? Smudge?
Sage, but what's the other one?
Palo Santo?
There it is.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I knew you.
Big one.
Yeah.
That's for like a big one.
Yeah. But unfortunately, we have run out of time.
We're running out of time. Yeah, we've got to wrap it up.
I have a special for Instagram people too.
You do?
Yes.
Yes.
So heavily discounted.
Heavily discounted for a reading for a 1 hour session. It's $175, and I should say for Facebook people too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Nobody should be left out.
No, all social media. Find us on social media. And
just
tell
let
us
me
Both
know
Sides Now
that's where you
TV.
saw me.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we have our Both Sides Now TV Instagram.
Yes.
What is it, John?
And Facebook as well, and Twitter, everywhere. I mean, and you both have your own pages as well. So Spiritual Medium Kelly White and Dr. Shirley and Pellizzeri.
And I won't be here next week. I'm going to Cancun with James this week, like in 2 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going to Cancun.
Fun.
So our topic will be next week, and I think we're going to talk about bullying and being different, right, Shirley?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, bullying, being different and how some people get bullied for that.
Yeah.
That'll be a great topic.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll miss that.
Thank you so much for listening to us and joining us.
Thank you.
And if you have any comments, any questions that we didn't get a chance to answer,
Show
any topic
topics.
ideas, please reach out to us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and we will do our best.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Both Sides Now, featuring the unconventional duo Dr. Shirley and Kelly White. Two perspectives, one world.